Yeah. Pro Fan Sports Podcast. Let's get it. Pro fans, tune into the program. Every single week, get the dope, fam. Sean on the mic, very flat too. Keep you updated, that's what we do. Pro fans, tune into the program. Pro fans, tune into the program. Pro fans, tune into the program. Every single week, get the dope, fam.
Yo, what to do, everybody? It's your boy, John Altidor, back at you with another one. It's number 2 this week, man, with my boys, Vlad and Barry, on this Pro Fan Sports Podcast. What's good, fellas?
We good. This is a special episode. You know, we usually drop one episode a week, but this week we felt as though it was necessary that we had this conversation because we had some really big news in the NFL. You know, really big news in the New England area for Patriots fans.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, man. I mean, seems like the NFL's on fire today, man. You know, we had the news that we're going to be talking about, you know, throughout this episode. And then we had Brian Flores news that we'll be talking about, you know, at a later episode. But, hey, man, the NFL's on fire. You know, the Black History Month is starting off with a bang in the NFL, you know.
that's for sure.
Oh, yeah. Right out the gate. Absolutely.
Right out the gate, man. And obviously, we're all here because, you know, a couple of days ago, you know, Adam Schefter, you know, dropped a bomb on us talking about Tom Brady, you know, the GOAT, that he was announcing his retirement, right? And, you know, and then everybody's like, what the fuck is going on? Because he didn't say it himself. And then his father came out and said, that ain't true. Like, whatever you're talking about, you don't listen to nobody unless it comes from Tom. And then a few days later, what was that, Saturday? And now we're in Tuesday. And, you know, the GOAT came out and he said that he is no longer committing to all the work that it takes, you know, to go through a grueling NFL season, man. And so with that said, 22 years of greatness, you know, just came to an end today, you know, February 1st, 2022. How y'all feeling?
You know, and I have a lot to say, but I think one of our co-hosts has a lot more to say than I do. So I'm gonna let him start this conversation. So Barry,
you gonna let me start?
Yeah,
this
you know,
episode, huh? And let me talk about you first.
You know, if you guys are following Barry, you know, he's gone through a range of emotions today. You know,
absolutely, that's,
you know,
a good way to put it.
He went from happiness, you know, to sadness, to anger. Oh, you know, he's enjoyed all the spectrums of emotions that us as humans has to, you know, deal with. So, Barry, man, you know, how you feeling? You know.
Whew, yeah, fellas. Now that you've definitely, you know, described it, you know, perfectly and pretty much summed it up. You know, it's certainly been an emotional day. They have mixed emotions. You know, was definitely pretty shocked and stunned, you know, at the Instagram post that he posted on his IG, announcing his retirement. And, you know, I definitely was in my feelings and felt some type of way.
All right, Barry, before you talk about, you know, the announcement, you know, let's just give it a, you know, let's talk about what we're thankful for, you know, the memories that we shared with TB12, and then we'll talk about, you know, everything that happened today.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about what my feelings regarding the announcement today.
Yeah.
But as far as his overall career and the overall 20 plus years that we watched him, like, man, it was special. It was remarkable, incredible. There was something that, you know, that's what you see once in a lifetime, once in a generation. I don't think that in our lifetime we'll ever see someone do the things that Tom did and do it consistently at a high level, you know, year in and year out. for and have that kind of longevity and success that he did. And in his career, you know, definitely I'm grateful and thankful and appreciative that I got to witness 20 of those years with the Patriots, and being the passionate uh and really diehard and lifelong Patriot fan that I am. I mean, it's it definitely is a pretty bittersweet feeling to to be able to witness a guy that you can call the greatest of all time play for your team and your organization, and be able to give you all the things that he gave us in the 9 Super Bowl appearances, the 6 Super Bowl wins, the all the AFC Championship games and playoff runs, and just all the great memories and moments that we had with Tom during his 20 years here is something that we'll forever cherish and ever remember it, for the rest of our lives, and something that we'll always have with us, as long as we're fans. So definitely have a lot of gratitude towards him, and and definitely feel we're very blessed to be able to watch him play and play uh, you know, the best football that I've ever seen any quarterback play uh, during his era and during my time, watching football. So it's a pretty good feeling that we're able to enjoy all those games of him playing and all those touchdowns he threw with us, and and have that much success and excellence and greatness that he
You
was
have
able
a
to have here.
My reaction is pretty simple. My Tom Brady is the greatest ever, right? Greatest ever. And I was what I was particular a fan of was his winning mentality. Brady was just all about winning. Like it didn't matter how many touchdowns he threw. It didn't matter how he won. It was all about winning. Because I think these days you have quarterbacks like Aaron Rodgers who I feel as though it's not really about winning with him. I feel as though he wants to win a certain way. You know what I mean? And as you can see, he hasn't been able to win another Super Bowl since that first one. You know what I mean? So I think like with Brady, it was never all about like he had the numbers, but it was never all about the numbers. It was all about the winning, and that's what I appreciate about Tom. It was just straight to business. When he's on the field, everybody feels that we can win. No matter how much we're down, you feel as though we can come back. Like when somebody's your quarterback, it doesn't matter how bad the game is. You're just like, we can do this. You know what I mean? And I think that's something special. Like I don't think we'll ever feel that ever again. Because for example, we watched that last game against the Bills in the playoff where Mac Jones was the quarterback. I fell asleep when we were 20-0
mm,
because it
Oh
was just
damn, that's
it was just
crazy.
like that that certainty that you had when Tom Brady was on the field, it just wasn't there. You just knew the game was over. But when Tom
Right.
Brady is on the field, you just know, blah. Watch this comeback, bro. Watch this comeback. And usually, I'm not saying it happens all the time, but usually it does. Usually it does. And that's all I'm gonna say.
Right.
Tom Brady was the ultimate winner, and I appreciate him for what he did in New England, for what he brought for us. I think we're not gonna realize how blessed we were to be able to win so many Super Bowls, always be in the conversation, always be in the conference championship. I mean, I think like the next couple of years when we're not doing that over and over and over, like that's when we're gonna be like, wow, Tom Brady was special. Like that time was special.
yeah. I mean, I
Yep,
think for me,
absolutely.
man, um, obviously, Tom Brady's whole career has been special, man. And, I think based on how I've been talking on this podcast, people don't realize Tom Brady's my favorite sports player of all time. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of the ways I've talked about him is because, you know, I've been hurt to see him play so good with somebody else. I'm like, yo, it hurts so bad to just see him like every game. It don't, like you said, it don't matter what the score is. You're like, bro, if you don't kill him, he's like Jason, bro. He's gonna come back and kick your. You know what I'm saying? It's like, somehow this dude's gonna. And when I was watching the Rams play that last game and they kept fumble, dude, you know, he what'd he do? He hiked the ball over Matt Stafford. I'm like, oh my God, you guys,
it's happening again,
yo. I'm like, have you guys not been watching? And it's like, and you can tell the other players they're nervous. You know what I'm saying? Once they made that one mistake, they started getting nervous, and then it started spiraling because they knew on the other side of that fucking ball, this dude was gonna fucking take your heart out, bro. If you gave him the chance. And you know, I'm kind of mad because like we started the podcast, and then Tom Brady was making his way out of New England.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
I know.
Listen, man, I learned how to, you know, I read so much sports articles growing up, man, and it's because of Tom Brady. You know what I mean? Like, New England Patriots are my favorite team in New England. You know what I'm saying? So, like, imagine school kid, high school, you know, I'm reading the Metro, the Boston Globe. It's all about, you know, what Tom Brady's doing. You know, I feel like my English got better because of it. My writing got better because of it. And it's all because of this one dude, because I came to the United States in 1997, you know what I'm saying? And Tom Brady got drafted here 2001. So it's like, I was just 2000. Yeah. And I'm like, dude, what is this sport? And he replaced Drew Bledsoe. And then we won that Super Bowl. And I'm just like, yo, this dude's amazing. You know what I mean? Even though he wasn't like Tom Brady then, it was like we won this big, the first Super Bowl in the franchise history. You know what I'm saying? And I was hooked ever since. So, you know, I think I just want to clarify that this dude, he's been my favorite player the whole time. It's just like, yo, you know, I'm kind of like bitter that, you know, he, you know what I mean? He left us. He left us.
Right.
You know what I mean? And he was doing great with another team. And it's like, even though I wasn't like rooting against him, I just couldn't like find myself like, you know, still watching him all the time because it hurt, man. And, you know, that says something about him, how good he is. And like Vlad, like you're saying, man, this year we knew if we went down 17 points in the first half, we're not going to win the game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's not, you know, to shit on Mac.
No, it's not to shit on him at all.
Yeah, I mean, no disrespect to Mac. All due
he's
respect.
only a rookie. It's just like we've seen greatness for 22 years. And it's like that, like Barry said, there'll never be anything like it, man. And, you know, I mean, the way he's retiring, he's still on top of the game, like led the league in every statistical area this year. And it's like, you know, I wrote a status. I'm like, man, I'll have to hear about him until next season, man. And apparently it's not going to be a next season. So,
unfortunately.
You know, I would love to see him retiring with the Patriots. You know, unfortunately, that's not the situation we're in. But, you know, more power to Tom Brady, man. And I'll forever, you know, he'll forever be, you know, my favorite player all time. You know, over time that might change, but I don't see how.
I don't
like,
I don't see how does that change.
I don't see how.
Right.
Somebody has to come in and just be unbelievable, like win 10 out of 10. If you gotta win, you know what I mean. You gotta win
in Boston. You gotta do that in Boston.
For me to, exactly.
For me, yeah.
No, facts. Bro, you gotta freaking blow us away, right? And like be perfect, exactly. Like even more perfect than Tom. And I don't know what? Like you said, at least in the foreseeable future, I don't see that happening as of, you know, right now, you know, and anytime soon. Yeah, I don't think that's even attainable and doable.
I'm such a big fan of his. I don't even want to see anybody outdo that. No, you know what I mean, I never want to see it.
Right.
You don't want to see that, and I'm pretty sure you won't see that. Like, I'm pretty sure we. You know the only way we're gonna see that when humans become bionic, like when we have like robot arms, and like that's the only time. Then the numbers are gonna be blown out the water. Then it's gonna be different. But
Yeah.
now that we both shared how we felt about the retirement, one thing that I mean, if you're following the sports right now, you already know Tom Brady did not thank the New England Patriot in his announcement. And
Yep.
as New England fans, how do you guys feel? How do we feel about that? And I'm gonna let it for Barry because I know
Yeah.
I know
Y'all see the
Barry is the one
Facebook
that's
page,
really
man.
Barry
There,
really
I'm
you
has
sure
some
you
y'all,
some
wrote you wrote
y'all,
a
feelings.
y'all
nice
see my
status there,
Facebook
buddy.
page. Ooh,
That was a really
man,
nice
and it's
status, actually.
crazy because, shoot, I
I'm
don't
shocked and
normally
appalled.
take.
Barry, can you read your status for the fans? For the fans that don't follow you on social media, can you read your status? Because I read that and I was like, oh man, I feel bad for Barry.
Oh, yes, I will pull it up and read it to all the fans so that all of our, listeners and, and viewers can be able to be aware of what I put on Facebook. And this is exactly pretty much how I feel, about the announcement in the retirement post that he put on IG. This is how I was feeling in the moment. Like I told you, I was feeling some type of way and deep
All
in
the
my
emotions,
feelings.
man.
Yeah, whew, all of them were all just coming at once. Were all just rushing over my body, like
You
boom,
gotta you gotta
hit,
channel
hit me like
yourself in
that.
that moment.
Yeah, man, it was definitely sentimental and unbelievable. It was something I felt like I haven't felt before in my life, man. That just happened within a blink of an eye. So I said I am absolutely appalled, baffled, disgusted, and offended that Tom Brady disregarded and didn't mention anything in his retirement post on Instagram about the New England Patriots and the Patriot fan base. It is extremely disappointing, hurtful, disrespectful, insulting, and a huge slap in the face to all the Pats fans who passionately supported Brady for his 20-year career with the Patriots. I have lost a lot of respect for Tom Brady, who I have incredibly admired and looked up to as a person and player for most of my life since I was a kid, and will never ever look at him in the same way again. I wish I could record my podcast with Pro Fan Sports today so I could really talk my shit about Brady, but I guess I'll have to wait for the next episode. But I'm obviously talking my shit now. Stay tuned, everyone. Fuck you, Tom Brady. That's not that B money lifestyle.
It's not
Yeah,
that.
it's definitely not that B money lifestyle. Not at all. Absolutely not. But yeah, I think that pretty much sums up what how I felt in that moment. And in the time that I saw and read the Instagram post about him retiring and him just talking all about the Bucks organization, the coaching staff, the GM, and pretty much and his family, like Alex Guerrero and pretty much everyone else, with the exception of anybody you know that had to do with the Patriots and their fans. Uh, like you said, John, like how it hurt you, watching him play in Tampa and having all that success and throwing those touchdowns and winning games and winning a Super Bowl. I felt that same kind of way. Like it really like was heartbreaking and really hit me hard and like hurt. You know what I'm saying? Me and was painful for me to read that and see that and not see a word about the New England Patriots and the Patriot fan base. Like with everything we just talked about and what happened in the 20 years he was here, the fact that he didn't say anything at all was just, oh man, it was like a pain that just I'm still feeling it now. That just seems like it won't go away, and it's just like unforgettable, and it would just stays with you, and and it is some that that you never thought you would hear. I was blindsided, but by that, because I thought he would at least say something, like at least one line. I wasn't expecting much. I knew he wasn't gonna say that much, but at least give me a line, bro. Like, you can give me at least one line in your 8 slide Instagram post that you had. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we really don't mean shit to you. Like, you really don't give a fuck about us. Like, you don't care about all the people that supported you, week after week, year in and year out, and it's acted as if we never existed, and like we're not a part of his life and his career and his journey to in the greatness that we saw from him. So that's why I felt what I felt and what wrote, on the Facebook post that I, read to you guys. That's how I was feeling, and still feel right now at this moment, and I'm gonna feel that for a while. And it just really sucks that he had to go out and in that way, and it couldn't be a better better ending for for us Pats fans to remember him by. It's really unfortunate that he didn't say anything thanking the Pats fans in his Instagram posts. So yeah, it hasn't been a good day for me to say the least. And yeah, been very, very, very sad and emotional.
Yeah, Vlad.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I sort of agree with Barry. I mean, it's very disappointing to not see the Patriots mentioned at least once in that. Like, I was reading the whole time I was reading it, I was waiting for the
He was
part
waiting for it.
where he's gonna
Right.
talk about about the Patriots, the Kraft family, the Belichick, talk about Profit Sports. Like, he didn't talk about any of that at all.
Oh, you even wanted
Nah,
Pro Sports to get a shout out.
I'm joking, obviously,
After
No,
all
I
we
feel
did for
you. I
him,
feel you. That's
but
what's up, though.
no, but
No, I hear you
in all
though.
seriousness, though, I just thought like there would have been one mention about the Patriots at some point. I mean,
Right.
if you look at the post, he started the post with a picture of him in a Bucks uniform. That's that's, I mean, that's okay. I'm like, whatever. But eventually, I thought he was gonna mention the Patriots, and then I started thinking. I was like, this is Tom Brady. This is somebody that's very calculated, somebody that's very smart. So maybe because he wrote a letter to the Patriots fan when he left New England, maybe that qualifies as a goodbye. But then I was like, no, but he think Guerrero, he think he's agent, he think the people at Michigan. So I'm like, if you're taking all
man,
this,
he think the dining staff, all right?
yeah, if you're taking all those people, you can at least say thank you to the New England fans. So that was very disappointing. I'm not like, I mean, I know there's a grudge that he's holding against Bill Belichick and maybe the Kraft family, but the fans though, like the New England fans, like we've done nothing but cheer for you. I mean, and even after he left, there's a lot of fans that supported him very strongly in leaving and supported him with
hmm
the Tampa Bay Bucks. So I'm very surprised by that, and I'm very disappointed. And I'm pretty sure he's gonna make it up. Like, he's gonna do something to make it up. But
Hopefully.
he should have still mentioned them in that letter. Like, eventually he's gonna do something, and then everybody's gonna forget about it. But he still should have mentioned the New England Patriots in that letter, and that's the one of the first few times where I've seen Brady done something where I'm like, wow, that was not Brady like. That was not class. Like Brady always acted in class. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Right.
And that was one of the
Right.
first few times where I'm like, wow, Brady just was like, fuck you guys. Like, I'm gonna be petty today. I'm gonna choose
Right. On
violence.
my petty shit. Right.
Yeah. Nah, man. I seen that early this morning. I think I've been having a blast with it all day, man.
A blast. What? That
I
didn't
mean,
piss you
you
off,
see me on
Ken?
social media. I've just
That
been
didn't get
going.
you cut and feel some kind of way?
Nah, I mean, listen, like I said, favorite player, but when he left, I had to it's like my heart was broken. And then I'm like, dude, I'm not even gonna pay attention. You know what I mean? He's on the other team. To me, he's on the other team. I'm a Patriots fan, so I'm gonna root for the Patriots, and that's it. You know what I mean? When he retires, he's gonna retire with the Patriots. He's back. You know what I'm saying? He's back in my good
Well,
graces or whatever.
hopefully we don't know that. Hopefully he
But
does.
I think I definitely felt for a lot of people because I think when he left the fan base, he kind of divided the fan base, right? A
Mhm.
lot of people
Oh
went and
yeah.
still supported him down in Tampa Bay, like Vlad was saying. There's a lot of people that flew from here to go see him play down in Tampa. A
Oh
lot
yeah.
of people out here bought his jerseys. It
Mhm.
was Tampa Bay. You know what I mean? It was like when you're watching the Patriots here, as soon as that game is over, they were tuning in to the Tampa Bay game because that's our boy. You know what I'm saying? I know you guys share that same sentiment. You know what I'm saying? So
Absolutely.
for me, it was like,
Definitely.
damn, that's definitely a slap in the face for the people that have been supporting you this whole time. You know what I'm saying? And I get it, man. You might have whatever's going on with Bill Belichick, but at the end of the day, man, I genuinely think without the Patriots, Tom Brady probably is not even mentioned in the NFL. If you think about it, Tom Brady was selected
Mhm.
199th overall. If the Patriots didn't select him, who's to say who was going to select him? He might have even
That's
gone
probably would have gone
undrafted.
undrafted. Right.
That's
Right.
one. First year you were here, you were a four-string quarterback. They kept you on the roster so you didn't get taken by somebody else. That was Bill Belichick. You know what I'm saying? Second
Right.
year, Drew Bledsoe gets injured. Bill Belichick keeps you on as a starter. That's Bill Belichick. You know what I'm saying? And then Drew Bledsoe comes back and he still keeps you on as a starter, right? So without the Patriots, whatever situation you got going on with Bill Belichick, without him, making those decisions, you're not who you are today. I get it, you're Tom Brady. You've won all these games, and clearly we see your greatness. But without these decisions being made by the team, you're not where you are today. And like you
Mhm.
said, man, Tom Brady's always classy. And I think when he went to Tampa Bay, you saw a lot of his personality, and we loved it because, when you're up here, you don't get to show a lot of your personality, and we loved it. We laughed at a lot of the stuff that he was doing. But I think, I thought it was poorly executed. I think that whole statement was definitely poorly executed.
Mhm.
And still, the Patriots took the high road. They put out their statements, and it ended up in his story. But it's like, listen, man, the things that Robert Kraft said, I still see him as part of my immediate family. It's like, come on, man, at least think the Krafts. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. What
At
did
least
they
pick
do to
them.
you? Right. Right. They
And
didn't do anything wrong.
I was going through the slides. I saw the Tampa picture first, and I'm thinking to myself, the last slide got to be something like Patriots. It got to be
What I'm
him,
saying. Right.
with
Right.
his rings, Patriots rings, with his Patriots guys. Think about it, Julian Edelman. You nothing. You don't mention any of those guys at all, and
Right.
I'm
Not
sure
one. Right.
privately he said something to them, but at the same time, if you're going to publicize all this stuff, it's like you kind of have to say something. Well, you don't
Right.
have to, but it would look good if you said something. And not for nothing, Brady, 98% of your career was in New England.
Facts.
For you to think the Bucks and say that thank you for believing in me, who believed in you first,
Wait,
brother?
what?
Yeah, he
Exactly.
said that. He said that to the
No, no,
owners.
no.
Thank you guys so
I
much
seen that, and
for
that's
believing
how
in
he
me. I'm
reacted. I'm
like,
like, the fuck? What?
did we like, dude? We went with
We didn't draft you?
you Deflate Gate. You know, when you broke your phone and stuff, like, and then turn it over. Like we've been with you. So
Right. We even vouched for him and defended him. Right.
listen, every fan base has been calling you a cheater your whole career. And we've been with you this whole time. And it's kind of like, did you
From day
forget?
one,
Did
exactly.
you forget all this stuff that you've been through in New England and we were still right there? And like he said, he's never played in a stadium that hasn't been sold out. Who was in these stands this whole time?
Right. Exactly.
And
Exactly.
then when you retire, right, in 2027, he didn't actually say he was retiring in that whole thing. He said he's not going to make the commitment anymore. But, when he retires, he's eligible for the Hall of Fame 2027, right? You think it's all going to be Bucks fans over there?
Hell no.
Like,
I don't fucking know.
It's like, dude, you spent 2 years with the Bucks, you won one, and that's great. But I think that you shouldn't let, whatever your situation with Bill Belichick overshadow everything that you went through with this fan base. And you won 6 here with us, all these parades, all these parties we had, everything, man. You built your brand here. So for him not to say anything, man, it's definitely disappointing. But I don't think I took it as hard, as everybody else did. Because, once he left, I was like, you're not part of my team anymore, Like, it is what it is. I've seen a lot of people talking about, the fan base is crying. It's like, of course they're crying. It's like
Exactly how we supposed to feel. Of course we're gonna cry and feel some type of way, right?
It's definitely a slap in the face for sure.
Big time.
For us New England fans,
Yeah, I mean, I think we shared how we felt about the retirement. We shared about how we felt about the post that he made. Now to close out this little segment of our podcast.
Oh, it's already time to close it out.
Yeah, I mean we already been on for 30 minutes.
Wow,
But
shoot, that was a fast 30 minutes.
I'm telling y'all,
Just
the 30
talking
minutes
about
it
Tom
goes by
Brady
like once we
retirement.
start talking, you get into it, like it goes by like that.
Time flies. Crazy.
I'd like you guys to share 3 things: favorite Brady moment, favorite Super Bowl, and favorite touchdown.
Who?
And I can start or somebody else can start. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, you can start, Vlad.
All right. Favorite Super Bowl for me. So I grew up in Haiti. I didn't come here. I came here in 2005. So when I came here in 2005, the Patriots had already won their first 3 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
So I did not see 2001, 2003, and 2004. I mean, I watched them all the time because as soon as I came here, I immediately became a Patriots fan. And I came here 1 year before the undefeated season. So the undefeated season, I was like, what is this? You know what I mean?
What is this?
Yeah, exactly. So for me, I love that little Super Bowl a lot because of what it was. 28-3 comeback, unbelievable. The Atlanta Super Bowl is what Brady is. It's what the game was 28-3 and I was sitting on my seat like, we can come back. I mean, I'm not saying I didn't think like we're gonna win this game. No, I didn't think we're gonna win this game, but I was like, no,
it ain't over till it's over.
This is Tom Brady. This is Bill Belichick. They're not just gonna pack up their bags and be like, all right,
and throw in the towel. The red flag.
Good try.
Red flag. Right.
But I think my favorite Super Bowl, because it was my first Super Bowl win that I saw, was 2014 against the Seattle Seahawks. Tom Brady had an incredible game. He was down twice in that Super Bowl. In the first half and in the second half, he was down. He came back both times. And we had the Malcolm Butler interception, and that was some of I've never felt so happy and so accomplished and so because I had witnessed two lost in the Super Bowl by that time. So I was
Mm-hmm.
just so excited, so happy. It was just unbelievable. So that was my favorite Super Bowl. Um, favorite touchdown. One of my favorite touchdown ever. I mean, there's a lot of favorite touchdown, but one I'm just gonna pick one. One of my favorite touchdown is what's called the Statue of Liberty. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with that touchdown.
Yeah, yeah. When he was like,
Hey,
Yeah, yeah. So
yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
they hiked him the ball. He caught it. He turned around, put his hand up in the air, acting like he gave the ball to the running back, and everybody was like, "Where's the ball? What's going on?" And then he turned around. I think he was behind the line of scrimmage for like 15 seconds or something like, which is a long time. And then he threw the ball to Wes Walker, touchdown. That was one of the most exciting touchdown I remembered. Um, favorite Brady moment. Woo! I mean, favorite Brady moment. I mean, there's a lot of them. But I think the Super Bowl against Atlanta, just the way he came back, passes after passes to Malcolm Mitchell, to Julian Edelman, to what's that number 15? What was it, number 15?
I
Hogan.
think Brandon LaFell or
No,
Hogan.
Hogan
Hogan.
to
My
Hogan.
fault.
Just he was just throwing some beautiful balls in that fourth quarter. I don't know if you guys watched that fourth quarter ever again, but in that fourth quarter, he was throwing some of the most beautiful balls you ever seen. Just like and and to think about it, like every pass must have, every pass had to be completed because if they weren't completed, we lose that game. You know what I mean? And he was just so unbelievable. And I think that was my favorite Brady moment.
Yeah. Barry, you want to go ahead?
Yeah. So the first one was the Super Bowl or game?
Whichever you can go, whichever order you
Okay.
want.
Woo. So yeah, that favorite Super Bowl, I'd probably shoot. I'd actually agree with you, Vlad, because as much as great as that Atlanta Super Bowl, was seeing that 28-3 comeback and right the best, biggest and best comeback in Super Bowl history, and being able to come back from 25 points and what a quarter and some change, and win the game in overtime, as sweet and as awesome as that was. I think the one that really felt, what I'm saying, like the best and felt the sweetest, uh, and I feel like was the toughest to get was that Seattle Super Bowl, that fourth ring, because I, just can remember went through a really tough 10-year stretch of not being able to get over the hump and not being able to win. Um, once we got deep into the playoffs, whether it was in the AFC Championship game or the or the Super Bowl, like you said, we had those couple Super Bowls against the Giants that we fell short and weren't able to, win those games, and that definitely really hurt. Um, and it was painful to watch. And I was even thinking to myself, damn, like, are we ever going to win another one before Tom retires and before he's done playing? With the Patriots, are we going to get that fourth one, or are we just going to be stuck on three? And then, uh, you going through that 10-year drought, and then the Deflate Gate stuff, coming out, and, you know, it, and being having that blown up and not, what I'm saying, and really kind of, another controversy, being with the Patriots, uh added, more fuel to the fire. So it was just, and also being down by 10 points going into the fourth quarter against the, Legion of Boom, one of the best defenses that, we've seen in this era. Uh, and being able to, come back and just play a perfect fourth quarter, like flawless, like, what I'm saying, just dissecting and picking apart this defense, like, what I'm saying, just throw after throw after throw, like, especially, like, I can even remember that play he threw to, to Edelman, where Edelman caught the ball, got hit by Cam Chancellor, got his bell rung, got absolutely annihilated and
Got his head
freaking
taken
lit
off.
up. Yeah, got lit up like a Christmas tree.
I think he was concussed.
Yeah, right. Got a concussion. Right. And Regan, that was the third down play. That was like 3rd and 10 because they needed to convert that to be able to, keep the chains moving and, keep possession of the ball and just, seeing that and then just the rest that came along with it, just the accuracy and the the precision this man was throwing the ball was just incredible, and and then that touchdown to Julie Edelman to pick it up to take the lead and go up by 4. It was beautiful to see that, and then like you said, the defense finally getting a stop when Brady left the field with the lead late in the fourth quarter in crunch time, finally able to make a play when we needed to, when it mattered the most, was great, and and the best feeling ever, because we saw the previous 2 Super Bowls he left the field with the lead and the defense wasn't able to get that critical stop when they needed to in crunch time. So like that Malcolm Butler interception at the one, because I thought we'd lost it, and well, the game was over when they had the ball at the 1-yard line. I thought they were going to score and take the lead, the Seahawks, and for him to come up with that interception at the 1, like, I don't think I've ever been happier as a Patriot fan, uh, and screamed at the top of my lungs and jumping up for joy. Certainly, that one was my favorite Super Bowl. Uh, as far as favorite Brady game, whew, it's been a lot of them. But shoot, if I had to pick one game, it would probably be that AFC Championship game in Kansas City in 2018. I think
Yeah.
that's certainly
That's a
my
good one.
my favorite one, because like everyone thought we're gonna lose that game. No one gave us a chance, and the majority of people thought the Patriots didn't have a chance to win, and we're gonna get beat by KC, especially since it was at Kansas City, and the Patriots never really won an AFC Championship game on the road. They'd always been at home, so they actually had finally had to go on the road and being able to win a game, and they were able to get it done, and just and that was just an unbelievable game, an unbelievable ending and finish, and Brady was great as he was that game, and just converted key third down after third down after third down, and yeah, and then that was certainly a favorite game, Patriot game, in Tom Brady's career of mine, because like you said, that it's just solidified his career, and just goes to show how the character of Tom Brady and the kind of and what he brings, like you said, out of the guys around you. Like, you always think you have a chance and you're never out of it, and as long as he's playing, that you can beat anybody and get a win no matter who you're going against. And then favorite touchdown. Oof, there's a lot of good ones, but there's one that comes to mind, and I don't know if y'all remember this one. This is the one against the Saints to Kembro Tompkins.
Ooh, yeah, to win the game.
They won
Yep.
the game really, like, at the last freaking seconds. I think it was like the last play of the game. As the time was running out on the clock, and yeah, he just threw an absolute freaking dime. a beautiful down to Kimbrel Tompkins, and he jumped up and caught the ball and and scored that touchdown to win the game. And I thought they lost that game and that they weren't going to have a chance to be able to come back. And luckily they did, and he was able to make that play. And that was just a special and incredible play, and a play that I'll always remember, because like he's just that guy that can make the impossible possible, and then a guy that's always able to come through in crunch time, like we've seen so many times, and he certainly did that. That game. So that's certainly my favorite touchdown pass from Tom Brady.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have. I think we're gonna have a 3 for 3 as far as like Super Bowls, on here. Like as great as the game against Atlanta was 28-3. Like that really was a miracle. Like everything had to go right for us to win that game. Like thinking about Dante Hightower, if he doesn't make that sack to put dudes out of field goal range, bro, we could have lost that game. And
right, and the strip sack too that he had on Matt Ryan to get the ball back.
Julian Edelman, that pass like within inches off the ground that he got with the tip of his finger. If he doesn't make that catch, like we could have lost the game. So like literally everything at that second half had to go right for us in order for us to win that game. And a lot of people did think we lost that game. And it definitely was a miracle that we won that. But, that 2014 Super Bowl, 2014-2015 Super Bowl, man, that thing was special. I think, one, because I actually knew football, as much as I could. Like, I knew every single rule. Like, I knew everything that had to do with football at that point, because I started watching it, 2001, and, like you get the rules and everything, but like when you grow up, learning everything, like at that point I knew every single rule, and I was at the edge of my seat, man, the whole game. We came back the 2 times, like you guys been saying, that was great. And I think that game was my favorite Super Bowl, but it gave me my favorite Tom Brady moment too. It's like, you see how happy this dude was on the side of me? Like he thought it was over.
Yeah.
He's like, John, we did it. I was like, yo, this dude thought it was over when Curse got that ball against Malcolm Butler at the end, falling down on his ass, and you could hear what's his name? Blount was like, yo, every time is some stupid guy.
Right, for real.
Oh my God, it's always that one pass, dude. And
right.
The Seahawks shitted themselves and not give Marshawn Lynch the ball within inches of the field goal.
At the 1 yard
Russell
line,
Wilson throw that ball in. Malcolm Butler did his thing there, man. And I think the whole New England area, we gave up hope, because like all they had to do was punch it in with Marshawn Lynch, and they chose not to do that. And in that game too, you saw Bill Belichick's greatness. Should we call a timeout, coach? Like, nah. Let him keep going, because he didn't want to give him time to think, and they actually didn't call their own timeout and kept going, and they lost the game. So that game right there gave me 2-1, and it was like you could tell Brady didn't think he was going to win another one, because we went through the Giants, and then we went through the Eagles, where it was like he threw the most yards in a Super Bowl ever and still lost. Mm-hmm. You could tell like he didn't think he was gonna win that thing. The way he was sitting on the bench, and you see how he's jumping and screaming like a little girl. That game was beautiful. And my favorite Brady touchdowns, it had to come in 2007, man. 2007 is a year we'll never see again from another team, man. Like that was the first year somebody threw for 50 touchdowns, right?
Yeah, that was the
I
first
believe
time,
so.
yeah.
Yes.
And
Peyton Manning had threw for 49 a couple years before that, but that was the first time somebody threw for 50.
And Brady was, we were beating team by, I think we beat three teams by 50 that year, yo.
Probably,
Like
yeah.
Oh
it
yeah,
was
we annihilated teams.
amazing. You know, the games against the Jets, the touchdowns he threw to Randy Moss, just splitting the defense. It's like in
Woo!
between 2, 3 guys, you know, and Randy Moss doing this.
Yup.
And my favorite would had to be against the Dolphins. You know, he threw for 6 touchdowns, and Randy Moss caught 4 of them in one half.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I was crazy.
That was
I
crazy
was
to me.
insane,
And
insane.
later on, it came out that Randy Moss was watching Terrell Owens, play on another team, and he's like, "Yo, you see, he got 4 touchdowns today." And Brady's like, "Don't worry," and
I
he gave him
got you.
4 touchdowns in one half.
Woo,
It's like,
man,
yo, if
man,
that's greatness right
that's
there, man.
amazing, right? It is
Brady
absolutely.
skyrocketed, man, and that's the one year we should have won that championship, man. And
Oh,
that
I
year
know.
hurt me, boy. I think I sat in a room for like 2 hours after that game in the dark. I was like, what the hell just happened, man?
For real,
Yo,
yeah. That was the lowest moment. I'm sure the
yo, we
most
won
depressing
every
moment.
single game all year, and that the one that actually really mattered, we blew it, man, and over a
Sure.
stupid ass catch too. Tyree with the helmet catch. I'm like,
Oh God,
what
right
the
on Riley
fuck, bro?
Harrison. Oh man,
Man,
on
but
some
yeah,
bullshit.
that's definitely it for me, man. And I think I think for all of us, man, it's like Brady's given us some of the best sports memories of a lifetime,
Yes,
and
sir.
you'll never be able to take that away. Hopefully, I can tell my grandkids one day, like, you ain't see the greatest, dude. Like,
Right, right,
you should
right.
have been
Y'all
there.
see the best
You
ever.
should have
Right,
been there, man. You
right,
know.
right.
Hopefully, we can still have videos that are high quality, because over time how the resolution all messes up and stuff.
Yeah.
So
Right, right.
yeah, man. All in
Um.
all, man, congratulations to Tom Brady, man. What a great career, what a great guy. And hey, he's gonna do even more great things. I'm sure he has a couple documentaries coming out. Because that's what he's doing now. But you know, absolutely my favorite player all time, and I can't say enough about the guy.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll just say my last words. Just thank you, Tom Brady. Thank you for 22 great years of greatness. Like I'm grateful that I was able to see that. So thank you very much.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
definitely have the same sentiments as you guys. Just want to say thank you, Tom Brady. For everything you've done for the New England Patriots franchise and organization, and really having those two dynasties, uh and 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 contributing to winning, and making this a winning organization and a winning culture, and changing the culture of the of the organization that you did, for us, since you were legit pretty much uh, not very good, and kind of started from the bottom, and kind of just he brought us to the top, all the way to the mountaintop, multiple times. And uh, so thank you for giving me, the best childhood memories and the best years of watching sports and watching football that, I'll always remember and cherish, and be grateful and thankful um, for the rest of my life. And you really meant a lot to me. And into the time that I've been a Patriot fan. Like, you really made me become a Patriots fan, be proud to be a Patriot fan. Um, throughout my years of watching this team. So yeah, just want to say I appreciate you, and will always appreciate everything that that you've done, and that you've accomplished with the New England Patriots. So thank you, Tom. Yeah, you're the best.
Yes, sir, man. that's it for this segment, man. We had to get up in here and share
Yeah,
our
that's
thoughts
true.
about the greatest of all time for sure, man. You know, and I mean,
Yeah,
you
thank
know,
you
these
guys. I
these other
feel much
guys,
better now.
yeah.
Getting that all off my chest. I couldn't hold it in and wait until next week to talk about it on the podcast. So I'm glad I got to be able to get the opportunity to talk about that and just let everything go and all my emotions and the feelings that I had, ever since I heard of, saw the announcement on Instagram. So I appreciate it, fellas.
Yes, sir. You know, so until next time, man. Make sure you guys are following us on social media. You know, we have Pro Fan Sports on everything except for Instagram. That's ProFans_sports. You know, we waiting for y'all, man. Thanks for the support and happy Black History Month, man. February
Right,
5th,
yes, sir.
1st. You know, let's get it.
Yes, yes.
Until next time, man.
Make sure you like the video and subscribe. Peace out.
Yep,
Subscribe.
yep, that's right. Hit that bell too and get those notifications.